The alarm sounds in the darkness of the early morning, and before your eyes even fully open, the invisible chains pull tight. Your hand reaches out, not in prayer or gratitude for a new day, but in desperate surrender to a chemical master. A cup of heavy caffeine, the pull of a cigarette, a sweet, sugary bite. We tell ourselves it is just a small comfort, but let us be brutally honest. We walk the earth, claiming to be free, yet our moods swing and our minds shatter if we are denied a roasted bean, a cloud of smoke, or a jar of peanut butter. We have allowed temporary habits to hijack the sacred vessel of our bodies. We trade the pure, natural energy that the Creator placed inside our souls for a synthetic, borrowed spike that always demands to be paid back with interest. But when the crash hits and your energy vanishes like mist, who is really sitting on the throne of your heart? A subscriber asked a very deep and painful question. Give us a solution for nicotine and caffeine dependency. Another added a specific struggle. What about food addiction, especially dates and peanut butter? To find the answer, we must stop looking for a quick fix in a pharmacy and start looking at the ego. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that the greatest warrior is not the one who can wrestle down another man, but the one who can wrestle down his own soul. Right now, your desires are holding your intellect hostage. You are using these substances as a crutch because you have forgotten how to walk on your own 2 feet. But why should you even bother to change? Why not just continue as you are, serving these small masters every single day? The answer is found in the mirror. Go and look at your reflection right now. Look at the dullness in your skin, the yellowing of your teeth, the tired shadows under your eyes, and the extra weight you carry because you cannot stop snacking. This is not just about health. It is about your dignity. You were created as a masterpiece, a sacred trust from the Creator. When you rely on a chemical just to feel normal, you are admitting that the natural strength the Almighty gave you is not enough. You are settling for a compromised, weakened version of yourself. Imagine the ideal version of you: sharp, vibrant, physically powerful, and emotionally stable. That version of you is waiting to be born, but it is currently buried under layers of smoke and sugar. If you continue this way, you are choosing to be a shadow when you were meant to be a light. Is a few minutes of a temporary buzz worth losing the person you were always meant to become? Let us build a strategy to reclaim your morning from the caffeine master. Many people fail because they try to quit everything at once, causing the brain to panic. Instead, you must understand how your body actually works. When you wake up, your brain is busy clearing out adenosine, a chemical that makes you feel sleepy. If you drink coffee the second you open your eyes, you block this natural cleaning process. This is why you feel that massive afternoon crash. The caffeine wears off, and all that uncleared sleepiness hits you like a brick wall. The solution is the 90-minute rule. Tomorrow, give your body and soul 90 minutes to wake up naturally before you introduce any chemicals. Do not touch caffeine. Instead, drink 2 full glasses of pure water with a pinch of sea salt to hydrate your cells. Stand on your prayer mat and breathe deeply. By waiting 90 minutes, you allow your body to wake itself up naturally and finish its internal cleaning. If you drink 4 cups of coffee, step down to 3 this week. Mix your regular coffee with decaf to trick the habit. You are retraining your brain to find its own natural rhythm again. But what about those who are fighting on a different front, where the enemy is smoke? Nicotine addiction is not just a chemical pull, it is a ritual. It is a series of movements your hand and mouth have memorized over many years. People often fail to quit because they leave a giant, empty hole where the habit used to be. You must understand that you cannot just stop. You must replace the action with something better. When the urge to smoke hits you like a violent wave, your chest tightens and your mind begins to race. This is the moment of a very short, intense battle. A craving typically peaks and fades within 3 to 5 minutes. You do not have to quit forever in that single moment. You only have to win that small window of time. To do this, you need a physical reset. Instead of reaching for a pack, try a ritual of purity. Head to the sink and wash your face, your neck, and your arms with freezing cold water, just as you would for your daily ablution. This cold shock forces your nervous system to reboot, instantly interrupting the brain's desperate search for nicotine. You are replacing a ritual of smoke with a ritual of clarity. But what if your challenge is not coffee or tobacco, but what is sitting on your kitchen table? Food addiction is a silent thief because we must eat to survive, which makes the boundary between health and habit incredibly blurred. Let us look at the specific struggle with dates and peanut butter. On their own, they are gifts from the earth, but when combined, they become a super stimulus. Peanut butter is packed with dense fats, and dates are loaded with concentrated sugars. When you combine high fat with high sugar, it creates a dopamine explosion in your brain that is biologically similar to highly addictive synthetic substances. This is why you find yourself unable to stop after just a spoonful. The combination of sugar and fat creates a hunger that only grows the more you eat. You must realize that you cannot win this battle with willpower alone when you are tired in the evening. You must change the architecture of your environment. If the jar is in your cabinet, the battle is already over. You will eventually eat it. The solution is to remove the triggers from your house entirely. To stop the cravings before they start, you must fix your blood sugar. Start your day with a high-protein breakfast. Include eggs, avocados, or a drizzle of olive oil over your meal. These healthy fats and proteins slow down your digestion, keeping your blood sugar levels steady throughout the day. When your internal chemistry is balanced, the sugar monster in your mind finally goes to sleep. Why are you continuing to buy the very chains that bind you, hoping your willpower will magically save you later? We must also be brutally honest about why we have these dependencies. Addiction is almost always an attempt to escape a feeling we do not like. If you do not fix the root cause of your stress or your boredom, quitting one habit will simply lead to another. Your brain is just looking for a new way to get its dopamine fix. To truly heal, you need a complete dopamine detox. You must lower the volume on all cheap pleasures, the endless scrolling on your phone, the junk food, the constant noise. When you lower the stimulation, your brain begins to repair itself. Suddenly, a simple glass of water or a quiet moment of reflection starts to feel incredibly rewarding. You will finally have to face the emotions you have been numbing with smoke and sugar for years. It is scary, but it is the only way to be free. Are you brave enough to sit in the silence and finally meet the person who has been hiding behind the habits? There will inevitably be a day when life hits you so hard that the craving becomes absolutely deafening. It will drown out your logic and tell you that just one won't hurt. This is the grand climax of your battle. Do not run from this feeling. This moment of extreme physical weakness is exactly where your chains are ready to break. If you simply close your eyes, raise your empty hands, and ask the Creator for ultimate strength in that precise, agonizing second, the urge will shatter like fragile glass. You are not fighting this alone. The Almighty does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. When you take one sincere step toward Him, He takes 10 steps toward you. The withdrawal symptoms you fear, the headaches, the irritability, the fatigue, are not punishments. Reframe them in your mind right now. They are the beautiful physical sensations of the poison finally leaving your system. When your head aches, it means your blood vessels are returning to their natural, healthy size. Smile at the pain, for it is the sound of your cage door opening. Can you learn to love the struggle, knowing it is the price of your liberation? Imagine waking up 24 hours a day with a crystal clear mind and a calm, steady heart. Imagine your emotions remaining perfectly stable, no longer riding the chaotic roller coaster of caffeine spikes and sugar crashes. You will finally reclaim your sacred time, your vibrant health, and your hard-earned wealth. Your focus in your prayers will deepen because you are no longer rushing to finish just to get your next fix. You will look in the mirror and finally see the person you were meant to be, strong, disciplined, and truly free. Tomorrow morning, the sun will rise, and the alarm will inevitably sound again in the darkness. You will stand at the crossroads. To your left is the old path of dependency and fading health. To your right is the path of the warrior, the path of clarity and divine freedom. You have the map, you have the tactics, and you have the absolute support of the heavens. The choice of what you reach for in those first few critical seconds will dictate the entire story of your legacy. You are a masterpiece of the Creator. So, as you stare into the mirror today and prepare for the new dawn, what will be your final choice?